Okay, we're going to do some clear casting today for jewelry, and this is a smooth-on product. It's called Crystal Clear Series, and it's their product 200. Now, this is a great product, but like all these clear urethanes, it's very sensitive to moisture. So, and it's expensive as well. So you want to use it on a day that doesn't have a lot of humidity. Don't do it on a day when it's raining, and mix it thoroughly. And this particular product is not 50-50 mix. It's close, but it's 90-100. So using something like this, it's good to have some kind of scale, a postal scale or something. What we've got here is an OHAS Trooper, and it will do what's called a tear feature. So you can actually put your container on the scale and then zero it. So it goes blank, and that way it weighs just the product, not the container too. Now we're going to start with the 100% side, which is part A. So urethanes are two different parts, part A and B, but more properly they're pre-polymer and curative. Now the curative side is always thicker on the urethane, so you want to pour the thinner side into the thicker side. That is because you can get more of the thinner product out of the container. So always pour the pre-polymer into the curative. Now we got 100% here at 80, and we're going to look for about 75, a little over 70 on the B side. There we go. Just a little bit too much. There we go. So now we're ready to mix. What we're doing now is we're warming the mold up. That usually works a lot better for clear casting. You don't want a lot of heat, 150, 175 max degrees. And we've had it in there for about 10 minutes now. It's just warm enough where it's going to make the clear set real well. Okay, this is the casting area back here at Alchemy. What we've got here, we've got an air compressor, we've got half a dozen pressure pots, workbenches to do the molding and casting on, and various tools that you need for the process. What we're going to do right now is we're going to mix the clear, and we're going to put it in a pressure pot. This particular pressure pot, I've just got a flat platen or board that can be put in the pot itself and leveled, and that way we'll have a flat area instead of a curved area to do our resting for the mold. So what we're going to do now is mix the clear, and since both these parts are clear, I'm going to roll them and see which is the thicker. This is thicker, so this is curative. This is thinner, so this is pre-polymer. So pre-polymer into curative. And again, that's not a hard and fast rule, but you just get more out of the container if you pour the pre-polymer into the curative because it's thinner. So I'm going to scrape the sides to get all of it out. Scrape the bottom. I'm using the back end of the spoon here because it works better for these little small paper cups. And we're going to stir it. You've got some working time with the clear. If it was regular resin, you'd have only between seconds and a few minutes. But on the clear, you've got probably 4 or 5 minutes to work with. And it depends on the ambient temperature. But I'm scraping the sides and the bottom with the back end of this spoon as I do this. And then we're going to pour in the container, and then we're going to put it in the pressure pot. Now, for some of you folks who do not have pressure pots, you don't have to 100% have one. You don't have to for sure have a pressure pot. However, pressure just either compresses or eliminates the bubbles when you do casting under pressure. Stirring introduces bubbles, so there's a couple of different things you can do to dissipate that. Either if it's a slow enough setting, you can just give it time and it'll dissipate, or then again under pressure. So we've stirred it enough, and we're going to pour into the cavities now. I only want these about halfway full because my daughter Deidre is going to embed pictures in these, so we're not going to fill these up completely. And what we're going to do, we're going to let this gel. It'll be in the pressure pot probably 30 minutes. Maybe a little bit too much in that one. And that one. After the picture's embedded, we're going to come back and pour over the top of that. Okay, what we've done, we've filled the cavities about halfway now, and what I'm doing is cleaning up the edge with just a painter's tool, a putty knife. This one needs just a tad more. There we go. Now we're going to take this whole mold and put it on the board in the pressure pot. The air compressor is set at about 120, but I've talked to people that use anywhere from 60 to 120 pounds of pressure.